gentlemen, it's 9:05. We call the Commissioners Court to order. A quorum is present. All legal notices have been posted. The court is duly called. We got a motion to open the court.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor, let me know by the use on voting.
Aye.
Those who are opposed, same sign. The chair is in the affirmative. Can we get the bailiff to open the court, please?
All rise. The Dallas County Commissioners Court is now in session for the June 2013 term with the Honorable Judge Jenkins presiding. Please remain standing for the invocation.
He's in a little traffic. He'll be here in just a moment. That being the case, and he did say go proceed. Today, the indicator is a guest of Judge Jenkins, and so I'm going to ask Dr. Kenneth Green if he'll please come forward. Dr. Green is the pastor of Christ Metro Church in Cedar Hill. He's a graduate of Southwestern Christian College and Abilene Christian University. In 1991, he earned a doctorate of ministry from Fuller Theological Seminary in Pasadena, California. He's also a retired state chaplain for the Texas Army National Guard, where he served in the rank of colonel. He has authored and co-authored several books. He's married to his high school sweetheart, Mary, in 1977, and together they've conducted marriage seminars across the nation. They have 2 adult children, both of whom are married, and they've given them 3 grandsons. He has received the National Association for Education Opportunity Distinguished Alumni Award and ACU's Distinguished Alumni Citation. And so that, with the fact that he is the marriage counselor for Shea Cathay, we welcome you, Dr.
Good to be here. Bring you guys honor. Heaven, you deserve all the honor because you serve this great county of ours. We say thank you guys so much. Let's pray. Father in heaven, we come and we thank you for your servants who help carry out the executive and administrative responsibilities in this great county of ours. We just thank you for them. I pray that you will remember them like Noah, favor them like Moses. May you honor them like Mary, fight for them like the Israelites. May you prosper them like Isaac, promote them like Joseph, intervene for them like Esther, protect them like Daniel, use them like Paul, heal them like Naaman, answer their prayers like Eli, anoint them like David. Keep them safe like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Crown their heads with wisdom like Solomon. Above all, fill their hearts with courage and with compassion. We pray in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Welcome to this edition of the Dallas County Commissioners Court. We will be considering those matters that have been posted and are on our formal agenda. And then we will retire to executive session, to a briefing session for those matters that we will consider in a future court. And then we'll retire to executive session for those matters that are permitted by law. First of all, the resolutions. And we know that there are several, and I know Dr. Garcia has an introduction for the court. So, Dr.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I am very honored today, colleagues, members of the court, to introduce Dr. Jose Octavio Trick Villanueva, the new Consul General of Mexico here in Dallas County. Dr. could you please stand up and be recognized?
Good morning, everybody.
We are very honored to have him. He's a member of the Mexican Foreign Service since 1994, holds a bachelor's degree in international relations by the National Autonomous University of Mexico, a master's degree in diplomatic studies by the Matias Romero Institute of Diplomatic Studies, and a PhD in government and public policy by the National University of Costa Rica. He previously served as Consul General in Guatemala and as a political counselor in the Mexican Embassy in the United States of America. In other government assignments, he has worked as International Affairs Coordinator of the National Security Center, Chief of Staff to the Mexican Attorney General, and as an advisor in the National Public Security System. Until May 2013, he served as Director General of the Scientific and Technical Cooperation at the Mexican Agency for International Development Cooperation at the Secretary of Foreign Affairs. His academic work includes the publication of several articles and is the co-author of the book Drug Trafficking in the Framework of Mexico-United States Relations, Guidelines for Designing an Intermestic Policy, and editor of the collective work Mexico and Central America in the Threshold of the 21st Century. Dr. Villanueva, thank you for being here. Thank you for reaching out to the Dallas County Commissioner's Court. We look forward working with you. And thank you for the beautiful book for us here at the court, Palacio de Gobierno en México, Arquitectura del Poderío, which is one of the main buildings in Mexico City.
Doctor, if you will.
Thank you very much. Just a few words in order to say that I really appreciate your invitation. I know that you have a quite busy agenda, so to be here is a great honor. And let me say that for me and for my family, in fact, it's the greatest honor that I ever received to be appointed as a general consul in the great city of Dallas. As you know, Mexico and Texas has a lot of things to do together. So since this week, I'm in charge of this consulate, and I will be at your disposition in order to promote things together in benefits not only of the Mexicans, but in Texas and Mexico in general.
Thank you, Doctor. Your wellness. Ordinarily, I know the judge has a resolution, and we'll deal with this. I'm going to go ahead on because I see a delegation here from the district attorney's office. So I'm going to ask Greg Scott Long and the delegation to please come forward.
Where's your boss? She doesn't bring her boss up.
How is it? I'll come forward. Greg, this resolution says, whereas the Dallas County Commissioner's Court takes special notice when an individual is given long and faithful service to Dallas County. And whereas Gregory Scott Long was born in Hagerstown, Maryland, has been married to Nancy Long for over 30 years. They have two daughters, Kim and Christine. He is an avid runner, having completed multiple marathons, including the Boston Marathon. And whereas Gregory attended R.L. Turner High School, Baylor University, and Baylor Law School. And whereas Gregory began his Dallas County career on October 8, 1979, in the Dallas County District Attorney's Office as an Attorney 1. And whereas Gregory has continuously served in the District Attorney's Office in positions of increasing leadership responsibilities to include Attorney 2, Attorney 3, Attorney 4, Attorney 5, Attorney 6, Litigation Attorney, Deputy Chief of Specialized Crime Division, where he currently serves. And whereas Gregory was hired by Henry Wade and has served under John Vance, Judge John Vance, Bill Hill, Craig Watkins, all district attorneys, and has participated in over 460 cases that were heard before a jury. And whereas Gregory has served Dallas County continuously and diligently for over 33 years, now be it resolved that the Dallas County Commissioner's Court is hereby recognized and extends sincere appreciation to Gregory Scott Long for over 33 years of faithful service, and we further express his best wishes on this his retirement. And I so move.
Second.
Been moved and second. All those in favor, let it be known by the usual sign of voting.
Aye.
Those who oppose, by the same sign. The chair is in the affirmative. That being said, can I hear from your real boss first? Before you say
Thank you so much for honoring my husband. We really appreciate it. And I've been very thrilled to serve Dallas County for so many years.
Well, thank you for loaning into us from 30 years. Any of the rest of y'all want to say anything before I turn it over to Mr. Long?
Yeah, very briefly, Commissioners, first and foremost, obviously, I'd like to thank you guys for doing the resolution. Commissioner, I've often heard you talk about our employees, people being workhorses as opposed to show horses. Well, I think that Greg is a testament of a real workhorse, and that over 3 decades of service, and we tried to squeeze 500 trials out of him, but I say that, and I would just close with you talk about Greg being a long distance runner. I would submit to the court that he is also has been and is a long distance performer for the citizens of Dallas County. Mr. Long, again, having served under you and served above you, I want to thank you personally for your service. Greg really didn't want to be here. He's really humble. He's a humble hero, but you are, again, a perfect example of what a real prosecutor should be. And for that, I myself, as a citizen of Dallas County, on behalf of citizens of Dallas County, I want to thank you for the service.
Commissioner Price, I've had the privilege of knowing you my entire career and respect you so much, and seem to do so many good things for Dallas County. I very much appreciate this Commissioner's Court and what you all do and have done on a daily basis. I would be remiss, obviously, if I didn't express my appreciation to this district attorney's office, and the corner back of me, my current boss on the strict matter. She's for Pat Curran, and you just heard from Keith Harris, and so many friends and associates that are here today. And the DA's office has done so much for me. Mr. Watkins has done so much for Dallas County, and I appreciate them. Obviously, I should give a whole lot of credit to my wife and family. Without them, I don't think I'm here, and I know you feel that way. I do for me, so. It has been a long ride, I guess, for if we go back to the days of Henry Wade, that's just a long time ago. And I'm so appreciative. I think of Dallas County and really the stability of Dallas County over the years. The fact that people like me and so many other people across the departments can work 20, 30, and 40 years and work successfully and have good retirements. I mean, the retirements that we get here are second to none.
Will you say that into the microphone? We've been having all of these delegations continue to talk about that. I just appreciate you saying it, Mr. Long.
Well, that's very true. And, not only can people serve a long time in Dallas County, but the friendships, the associations across the departments that I've made that we can make. So to me, that's what it's about, and the longevity is probably that I've had is a testament to Dallas County, to y'all, and the ability to serve you. I am deeply honored. I'm very touched by this, and I appreciate you all so much. Thank you.
Well, we know the judge was listening, monitoring, and he heard Baylor Law School, Baylor, so we knew he'd come
And
in.
it's always there.
So again, Mr. and Mrs. Long, thank you. 33 years is a long time, and as you said, I have been around the world, all those years, back at Florida's night court, and Judge Cleo still in midnights, and like I said, you've always been good. The citizens of Dallas County have been serviced very well by your commitment, and I think Mr. Harris put it in perspective. Not only your long distance runner, but your long distance performer, and I think it's one thing. It's it's kind of like in the church, we talk about grave and death. And see, everybody runs, and I think grave and death was talking, and they were talking about Methuselah. He ran for 900 years, but all they could ever say about him is he just ran for 900 years. Never did anything, just ran for 900 years, but they called it. My position is that you haven't just been a long-standing rock, you've been performing, and you left a mark in this institution by which others can measure up. And so, thank you to you and your family, because it requires a lot of great sacrifice. So we just want to say thank you on behalf of the citizens of Dallas County.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your service.
Possible Pellegrino and Junior, please come forward. And this resolution is for the government intern program interns that successfully completed their year of internship, that graduated from SMU, and in one instance that have become a new American. So a great year for the county to have you here, and we want to honor you on your departure from college and from the internship program. And the resolution reads as follows. Whereas the government internship program was created in 2012 to create an opportunity for students from local universities to provide meaningful service to Dallas County and learn about the process of county government. Whereas the students are able to gain real-world experience in addition to academic studies, whereas this type of experience is invaluable for their educational and professional aspirations and allows them to learn valuable skills to assist them throughout their careers. Whereas Jeremy Recti and Pascual Pellegrino served as 2 inaugural GIP fellows, interning a full year with the county in which they dedicated significant time to their positions and provided countless benefits, working on special projects and assisting county staff. And whereas Jeremy and Pascual recently graduated from SMU, will be concluding their time here at the county as they pursue their further ambitions. Now therefore be it resolved, the Dallas County Commissioners Court is hereby recognized the service and hard work Jeremy Recti and Pascual Pellegrino, and wishes them the best of luck in future endeavors. And that's so moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Say a few words.
I just want to thank these 2 GIPs. It's an acronym for Government Internship Positions, and they are our 2 inaugural GIPs. We're hoping to grow the program. We modeled it after the Washington Fellows Program, and we think that the Commissioners Court has equal value to give these interns have an opportunity to really learn government from the inside out, interface with public and private partners, and really bring all of their resources and knowledge to bear. So we really appreciate them. They have learned, I know, Jeremy and Pascual, so much under you, Judge, and thank you so much for embracing them, you and your whole staff that give so much to them every day, and I know they've given a lot back. PowerPoints for the new OHSEM website that we're going to begin to develop, and we're going to be able to do that because of the hard work that both of them have done, and particularly Pascual really bringing that thing to full life with me. And then also all the research that they do. So I just wanted to say that, and then hopefully in the future we can bring in some partners and really grow the program even further. So department heads, just know that we're always here for you every February. I go out and really just canvass, the universities and try to find the cream of the crop. We try to find graduate level students to come, and these are not paid internships, so they've given an entire year commitment for nothing. And so we look at retirements that last, careers here in the county that last for 30 or 32 years, and it starts here with young people like this. So we're going to continue to nurture that. And I'll just open the mic up to them.
I just want to say thank you to everybody here. I came in, never been to St. Louis, my hometown. When I'm from the suburbs, we say, oh, I'm not from the suburbs, I'm from the county. So my understanding of the county is not really a government, it was more of a place. When I came here though, I got to see every day how the county works and what role it plays. And I've just been I really embrace the idea that it's actually the county and local government that really impacts everyday life. And I just want to thank you everyone for showing me that. Also just want to thank, my family wasn't able to come down from St. Louis, but. Huh?
You have to go, man.
I didn't have to go. Actually, funny story is without Sherman, I actually would never have known about this internship. She got an email from one of her friends and connections, and she says, oh, you have nothing to do next summer, why don't you apply for this? So I'm very thankful for her for that. But again, thank you for everything this past year. It's been educational, exciting, and very, very busy.
Did a great job. Okay.
Good morning to Commissioners, Judge. Once again, as Chairman was saying, thank you so much for your time. My service here as an intern with the Dallas County Commissioners Court has been phenomenal. I've gained out-of-classroom experiences, greater experiences that can happen from textbook or any kind of classroom that I can really gain from. This is a hands-on experiences, working with the commissioners, getting to know them at a professional level. Once more, as Chairman was saying, this is a county that's really focused in their long-term goals, as we've seen on the media. In many ways, how Dallas County has risen in many aspects, economically, politically, demographically, it has grown. And I see the work that you guys, the commissioners, along with the staff, have put into the county, and it's incredible. You guys put in a great amount of time. Judge, I've learned tremendously with you. And your dedication with the Dallas County as a Texan in itself is pretty impressive. I'm really learning a lot with you and with the county, with Texas, the Dallas Cowboys, the Baylor Bears, and many more things. Yes, absolutely. I also want to say thank you to Lauren, Ms. Kate Shackett, and of course, from Portland, Oregon, Ms. Ruby Blunt, who took their time helping me out when I was interning with the judge. And then Maria Rita for her time, along with Doug Bass, and many more that I cannot mention at the time. I know you guys have a busy agenda. I've learned a great deal of opportunities for you guys. You guys will see me further out the road. I'm just going to finish my education as to go to law school. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much.
We thinking the fact that you stay over there with the judges like Stephen King, you're working out of the power. The rest of us are waiting for you to come on out so we can really show you.
I just want to say thank you so much. Muchas gracias.
And is someone with you today?
Yes, my mother. Along with
The cake boss,
Cake boss, okay. That's cakes. Thanks so much.
That's the reason this country is so big. You give the opportunity to somebody to earn to be here. So to be an immigrant and be here with my son today showed me that we did the best decision. We picked the best place in the world to be, America. Thank you.
We have a picture. Oh,
Sure.
Yeah, we can tell you and turn down to Maria, you want to take a picture?
While they're coming forward, we also have a visitor that I want to introduce before I forget. And her name is Abriana Rose. Abriana, would you please stand up with your father? Abriana and her father are here today to observe our Commissioners Board meeting today. She comes from Bill Arnold Middle School in Grand Prairie, and she wanted to learn more about county government. So, Abriana, thank you for being here. Thank you, Mr. Rose, for being here with us.
Okay. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Second.
All those in favor?
I do want to say that I had requested under the bids that, that we see the spreadsheet on Garage D.
Oh, yes, sir.
That's all right. I just want to see.
I'm sorry, yes, sir, from
Yeah, from yesterday, and I should have followed up with an email, and I'm sure all the court wants to see it. A little concerned about the spread. I think it was from 600,000 to about 900,000, is that correct? We had 5 bidders and one was kind of in the middle, and I think we need to just kind of at least look at it, and so we can have a review because you opened them, and so just want.
And of course,
No, I don't pull it. I just want to see it.
this is just notice that it opened last week.
Yeah.
And so we're going through the evaluation process
Right.
now with internal staff as well as with our IDI department to determine what the correct recommendation to bring forward to the court for award is.
Okay. That being said, we can move.
But we will see that.
This will come back as a formal award.
But I just want the court to understand.
Did you say you moved it?
Yes.
They moved it. They moved it.
Somebody moved it?
Right.
Oh, motion is second. All those in favor? All right, and we have back with us today the Easy Rider, Harold Martin, who is all joking aside.
It wasn't easy, right?
Serious motorcycle accident, so we're
That evil Knievel.
keeping our prayers. We're glad that he is back, and well, the board was able and had an excellent job in his absence, so we're glad to have you back. Let's move, or let's, is there a motion on court orders 10 through 32?
That's next 9. You got 9, Judge.
Judge and Commissioners, on 9, you have a discussion item in your closed agenda on that item, so we would ask that you have that discussion and then come back
And then come back
after
at it.
executive and vote on item 9.
Okay.
Then, the motion on 10 through 32 is substitute 11.
I'll move. Okay. I'll second.
Are we still moving on court order 28?
We pull that.
Staff's recommendation was to pull court order 28 to bring back next week. We received the information yesterday and had some additional questions that we can answer.
So that's 10 through 32, pulling 28, but substitute 11. Is there a motion there? Or is there but pulling 28. Amending it to pull 28.
Commissioner Price moved, Commissioner Daniel second.
Yeah, and the only reason.
Second. And you're amending your motion to second to pull 28.
Second agrees on pulling 28. The only reason I'm going to agree with that because I did, and I think I email trained everyone because of the concern last week with regards to the payment. Ms. Brown answered that, and I think that is sufficient to continue to go forward. So it was about the payment, but she apparently up with the exception of one. So Mr. Thompson, she is continuing to provide the services to that population. Okay, just one. Okay, that being said.
Okay, so we're ready to go.
Discussion. 10 through 32, substitute 11, pulling 28. Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Let's see, briefing session, and now we get to hear from Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin, would you please lead us through the briefing session?
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Just also for the record, I do want to thank all the commissioners, Judge yourself, the staff members, everybody who just sent cards, letters, gifts, emails, and the funny texts and everything else that just kept me going for the last few weeks. I really appreciate you guys.
You thought that was funny? I was serious.
I know you were, Patricia. You call me every day, very serious. I do appreciate that. And I appreciate you all for just keeping me connected. It was very difficult last few weeks, but I'm back part-time, and it's good to be back. And I do want to thank also Mr. Heifel for the excellent job he's done over the last 2 days. Just keep things moving. With that, our first item is Health and Human Services with our Western Allied Director Thompson.
Judge, Commissioners, we'll start out with the next slide, right? Did ask, we wanted to make sure we were clear on map vision and 14 contracted cities, so you see those listed in your packet of 14 cities that we provide mosquito control services to. Go to the next slide. This is just an update. I received a call. We still haven't got the dishes guidelines yet, but in terms of that process, they had asked about 50 cents per person. I don't agree with 50 cents per person. Asked them to look at lowering that. The bottom line on that is that in a response activity, we should be able to utilize our existing budgeted amount that we've already allocated for mosquito spraying. We think that it should be less than 50 cents, so I've already communicated to that to them. Areas of mosquito abundance, we talked about that. Dr. Perkins will get more in detail, but before we move off of that, is that I really want to commend Dr. Perkins. He's been looking at the mosquito abundance counts, and we'll talk more about that a little later. Let's go to the next slide. You see BDCI, all of our samples today have been negative. Our map vision is up and running. People are already submitting service requests from the 14 cities, as well as their dead reports to our map vision. You can see that our insecticide resistance testing is, again, moving forward. Again, all our samples were negative from all the reporting samples that we received from the various cities last week. And before I bring Dr. Perkins up, I wanted to mention, he can elaborate more. In looking at the abundance counts that we've seen in Dallas County, we have sent a letter to the city of Dallas. We sent a letter to the city of DeSoto, which Mayor Sherman just communicated that he received information. We sent a letter to the city of Duncanville and the city of Lancaster, where in those cities that we have responsibility, we will do target spraying in those areas. As we mentioned several weeks ago, there was an area in Duncanville that we've seen a high mosquito abundance count there. We've not seen that decrease, so we need to take appropriate action from Dallas County Health and Human Services, since we cannot identify where that source that's contributing to the mosquito abundance. So we're moving forward on that. You will see us periodically send letters out to cities where Dr. Perkins is evaluating those mosquito abundance data. We think that's critical as we move forward. I want to be very clear, they're not positive for West Nile virus. It's just that we're looking at mosquito counts and we want to target them.
But it's part of your new aggressive plan, because the abundance does give you some concerns. And by the way, I did talk to city manager in Lancaster this morning. She was in the Metroplex and they were meeting, so I did talk to her as well. And the only somebody that failed and been able to communicate with this has been Dr. Hill thus far. But nonetheless,
those numbers higher than they were last year?
Right, what we're seeing, yes, the numbers are definitely high. Yes, when we evaluate, they're higher. As Dr. Perkins will point out, he's been on this daily. When you looked at last year's numbers, you had a smaller number in terms of your counts.
We're just trying to get ahead of the curve.
Right, getting ahead of the curve, but the mosquito infection was higher last year.
Right.
This year, you have a high abundance with no infection.
Right.
And so what we're doing is, we're not waiting on somebody to tell us this. We know that in terms of abundance, we want to go ahead and knock down those particular areas that, and again, this is targeted spraying. After we spray in those areas, we'll come back and do the testing. But the concern is that we see that those quinks are very high, especially the female quinks are very high in those areas. And we want to go ahead and I think the key point in this is that we cannot identify the source. If you've asked residents, and I want to be very clear, if you're traveling around, we still need residents to remove the standing water. We need to check these swimming pools And some of these areas that we're going into, in that one area in Duncanville, was a concern. We have shrubbery growing from the front of the house to the street because there's no code for that. If it was high grass, then that's a code issue. And so the concern is that we cannot identify where the source for the mosquito breeding is. And so since we cannot identify it or someone cannot mitigate it as a homeowner, then we want to go ahead and do the targeted spraying in that area. We think that's just good public health. So I'll bring Dr. Perkins, who's been the top doc on this. Thanks, Dr.
Well, and while he's coming, Mr. Thompson, I did say to the city manager of Lancaster that it does help if the best we can in terms of code enforcement as well.
Well, we're asking all cities to step up their code enforcement. We thought it was very effective last year, but I think proactively, we're asking all code enforcement in the municipalities to step up their reviews of these areas, because in these breeding sources, we've been unable to define where these mosquitoes are breeding at. And so in terms of that, we need to be very clear on doing the targeted spraying. We've identified, I think over in the Duncanville area, there's supposed to be a pond near the area, there's supposed to be additional swimming pools, but in terms of the source reduction, we cannot identify it. So that's why with that high mosquito count, if you're looking at 200 mosquitoes, 400, in some cases it could be 500 mosquitoes in that area, our traps are identifying that. I want to be very clear, when I'm always talking, I'm not talking about private contractors, I'm talking about Dallas County Health and Human Services. Our trapping has been very effective in identifying these high mosquito abundance areas, and so that's why we're targeting this.
Good morning, Commissioners Court and citizens of Dallas County. Historically, in looking at the West Nile virus, we have to be mindful of the fact that when it appears in our county, it tends to occur in the northeast quadrant of Dallas, the city of Dallas, and the northeast quadrant of the county. So with that in mind, I'm paying close attention to the mosquito count numbers, particularly the female quince, in regards to the fact that when she appears at the mosquito trap, she has had a blood meal and she's going there to lay her eggs. So because the numbers are relatively high and higher in some areas versus others, we have to be mindful that we need to get that threat down. So when and if West Nile virus appears within our community, we can minimize the threat to our human inhabitants of our county. So with that in mind, we need to have an intervention to knock down the adult flying mosquitoes, as well as continue to search for those sources and where these mosquitoes are breeding and hatching and taking meat. So with that in mind, as we can see on the West Nile surveillance report, throughout the weeks, we continue to see an increase in average number of quince mosquitoes per trap. However, in looking at the whole list from the first trap until the current results, there are pockets of high abundance of mosquitoes, and we're addressing that to reduce the threat to our citizens.
Dr. Perkins, or Mr. Thompson, when do we expect, I mean, the letter was clear.
What we expect is a response as soon as possible from the cities. What we decided to do is that we're ready to go. Of course, we've asked the city of Dallas to, we gave them the specific areas. They would do the mosquito spraying in those areas that have been identified within the city of Dallas. Those cities that contract with us, which would be Lancaster, Duncanville, and DeSoto, as soon as we get the okay from them, we want to move in. It's going to be a hot week and expect no rain, so we'd like to move forward. But what we want to do is report after we do the targeted spraying. We want to do the testing and then report back to show that those trap counts have gone down.
Okay, and that expectation from the time we do the targeted spraying till we revisit the traps, is a test period of what?
I think we're looking at, we get out there with less than 24, 48 hours. We set a trap immediately after we spray. So we should be able to gauge whether or not we see a reduction there. We feel that we will, but the test results will show us that. But I think it's critical. Again, I can't say enough. A lot of times people give a lot of people accolades, but Dr. Perkins has been on this, and this is where we should have been, as I told him years ago. And as a medical director, he's brought that knowledge base that we began to look at. So I really want to commend him for really being serious about this, where others have not been.
A little more cavalier. I totally agree with you.
Thank you.
I have a question. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I have a question. You know, I've been looking at Map Vision, and can we tell how many people are using it?
Right, we're able to, I can get a count on that. Right now, I know that we've got 11 reports from citizens from the 14 counties, and so we're able to gauge that. So I'll get a daily count of how many people actually go to our site. But where we're gauging it right now is we're looking at it daily, and to date, we've received 11 reports, either for dead birds or for complaints about service calls. Exactly. Now, of course, we got to vet those when they send them to us. Right.
Well, I just want to be sure that people know that we have this tool, and you know, it's very easy to use. I love it. You know, you can move the map to any part of our counties that we're working with, put a dot, put the address, the date, and it tells you if you have been sprayed or not as well. When was the last time? I mean, it's extremely a good tool. I'm really pleased with the results. I think makes people aware.
Yeah, but you know, I hate to continue to say this in terms of the process of this, you know, this revelation. There's still a lot of our populace who don't have internet access and computers in some of these areas, and especially south. And so I want us to be cautious, as you now appreciate the department's kind of being a little bit proactive. There's some reliance on this. We appreciate the, you know, interactiveness, but it's on us. We're going to have to continue to do.
And you know, it's great that, you know, we continue to do that, but it's also fantastic, you know, that we're looking to the future, especially because I can tell you, my kids, you know, just check all the stuff, and they're always on top of everything that has to do, and they tell the parents.
Right.
You know, they tell me, have you checked all these sites that I usually don't check, but anyway, you know, they keep their parents aware as well.
Well, one caveat on that, even if you call our number and report it, we're mapping that. So we take the calls as well, and we take that information and we're putting it into our mapping as well. So we have both opportunities, either from the web-based, you can send the information, or when you call our mainline number and report service requests or dead birds, we take that information and map it as well.
And another thing, Mr. President, and I know that I'm just getting into the details of this, but can you also check how many people are using it? You know, I check it several times. I haven't put a complaint yet, but I mean, I check it all the time, so it's an exercise too.
Yeah, I thought I mentioned that the staff is going to look at a count, and we can get a count of how many, in terms of, I'll check with IT to get a count of how many hits we have on it.
Thank you for your visual.
Item D, Health and Human Services recommends approval of a pathology microbiology fellowship agreement with the University of Texas Southwestern for graduate medical education. Item C, D, and E, you've heard on the formal agenda. Item 2, Elections Department, that item is also on the formal agenda. Item 3, IT.
Mr. Martin, if you will, the elections area, I want Ms. Pippins-Poe have an opportunity to come forward. I think most of us have received the email, but she, kind of like the budget department, has labored without sufficient staff for a number of years, and the total realignment, reorganization of that department is major. So, Ms. Pippins-Poe, we received your email, and I'm sure you have an announcement to the court and to the public.
Yes, Your Honor, and Commissioners did. I'd like to say for the last 2 years without an assistant, one thing that I did not do is get a DDA on keeping that position open for 2 years, but whoops, I missed that. But anyway, but anyway, I would like to introduce the new Assistant Elections Administrator. As I noted to you all, that he is a native Texan. He has his, he brings a wealth of experience with him on the issues that we really need to focus on in elections too, is the budget and purchasing in contract negotiation and HR experience. He has his degree from SMU under political science, and also has a law degree also from SMU that would assist the elections department. Also, he's married, has 3 sons, and like I say, he is a native Texan. So I'd like to introduce Robert Hurd, Senior, and he'd like to say a few words.
Thank you for booking me. I asked Tony, Ms. Pippin's school, just a few minutes ago. I'm not gonna have to say anything. Totally. I thank you, Ms. Pippin, for welcoming me. I'm hoping that I will be a great help to the county that I love, the people that I love, and that I always have tried to serve for a long time. My life is an open book, and my assistants in the elections department, I will have an open book type of an office where you can contact me and gain any information or any assistance that you would like. I look forward to working with each of you and each of the departments, and just really looking forward to contributing to this great county. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hurd, and welcome. Ms. Pippin's pool, I read some that the Secretary of State has is it a school or a conference? Which one is it? I read some missing.
We have an election law conference.
Okay, when is that?
It's the end of July.
July. So you will have Mr. Hurd as a lawyer in that conference, huh?
Absolutely. As soon as we finish all of the paperwork, we will come back to the court to approve travel for Mr. Hurd to attend that election law seminar from with Secretary of State. I forgot to say that he's also retired U.S. Air Force.
Do you have a resume that you can send to us that kind of give us that background? That
Sure.
would help out the community too. So,
Okay. Fantastic.
thank you. Welcome.
Welcome.
Item 3, IT, both A and B will be heard in the formal agenda. Item 4, Human Resource Civil Service recommends approval of a Weight Watch at Work program for county employees participating during the daytime. For participating employees located at full cost of the program. Item 5, Operations recommends approval of Amendment 1 to the grant fund agreement with the Railroad Commission. This agreement was originally approved by the court on March 19, 2013. Item 6, County Clerk's Office, Dallas County Clerk wishes to expand the records building Wi-Fi network from 4 Dallas County Probate Court to the 2nd and 4th floors, and also in the Dallas County Human Resource Civil Service Office on the 1st floor. This will be paid out of the County Clerk's Court Technology Fund. Item 7, Planning and Development. I'm going to read through all of these TIP items, and I'm going to ask Mr. Lossberg to come up and address any questions that you have on any of these TIP items. Item A, 7A, recommends that the county resume participating in City Center TIP District beginning in 2013, providing 45% of any generated incrementally for a period of up to 5 years. Item B, recommends the county participate in the Farmers Market TIP District beginning in 2013 and subject to the construction of the district's new 240-unit housing development and renovation of the market being completed by April 1, 2016. Item C, recommends that the county beginning in 2013 participate in the Carrollton TIP District by providing 65% of its increment for 17 years. Item D, recommends the county increase its total net present value contribution to the Design District TIP District from $5.2 million to $11.1 million. All other terms remain the same. Item E, recommends the county resume participating in the Arena TIP District beginning in 2013 by providing 45% of any generated increment for a period of up to 10 years. And item F, recommends the county extend its participation in the Oak Cliff Gateway TIP District for an additional 4 years through 2016 and contribute 65% of the increment to the district. Mr. Lossberg?
These proposals have been received over the course of the last year or so, some of which have just come in the last few months. As they begin to filter into the office, staff looked at them and decided it might be best to try to hold on to them as these others are coming along and give the court the opportunity to look at them sort of in a coordinated, comprehensive manner rather than in an isolated action manner. We try to take into account the experience that we've gained really since 1988 when we began participating in TIF districts, and also looked at the impact that a lot of these are located very close to one another. I also tried to assess what the long-term successes and probability of success was going to be, and then also looked at sort of our master strategy for economic development, about our ability to attract and retain key economic groups. And so that's sort of the prism through which we try to view all of these. About half of these we've accepted the recommendation from the city, and the other 3 that we've managed to, I think, modify or refine them to better reflect the county's interest. All the 6 recommendations have been done in conjunction with the cities. The cities are aware of them. They've all said that they can live with the recommendations that have been proposed.
Professor Losberg, let me just say, you know my concern with farmers market historically.
Yes. This developer says he will do 6% per our policy, and that's the way it was created.
Let me just bring the court up to speed. The last time we went down this road, they were not so accommodating.
This is a different developer.
Okay. I'm just saying that they, for some reason, that they weren't accommodating last time. Of course, they did not the recipient. The increase in the design district, is that to the benefit of the
What's necessitated the request for the increase in our contribution is that the district basically is doubled its open size.
Right, and it's one of the highest investment, highest growth area in
And
that
then jump to the other side of Stemmons, and there is a unique opportunity. And the thing that we tried to take into consideration is how much of that spin-off activity would have happened without TIF assistance. I think we have a good mix now to try to, again, protect and enhance safeguard our interests while still providing incentive to make sure that just not that development occurs, but the development of a high quality and an unusual amount occurs.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just me. I think would have occurred regardless. You get what's going on in and around because of these districts in proximity.
Well, the design district has been phenomenal in the last 5 years.
And will
it is one to be
continue.
very optimistic about.
And the reason they're asking for this increase is because they expect more growth.
They're hoping to have even more.
It has also the connection with the riverfront, and not to mention, and I just want to thank you, Mr. Luswell, because every single time I see this compilation of work, I learn something I just didn't know. For a long time, we thought that there were some other tips, the ones that were the residential tips for St. Coleman somehow. We're the ones going the fastest. And the fact that the medical district, the arts district, the downtown, of course, you expect the downtown, the farmers market. It's great news when it comes to connectivity. Oak Cliff, they want to expand it. I remember, Commissioner, when I got elected in 2001 for the Dallas City Council, nobody wanted to be in the TIF. Actually, everybody wanted to be out. Well, but guess what? Once we have that anchor project, which happened to be Walgreens, right? Then suddenly, once there was money in the TIF, everybody wanted to be in the TIF. And after that, the last developer that I had the opportunity to work with, the one in Colorado and Bishop, I have to tell you, I don't know if after this TIF close, there will be enough money, for you to pay all the infrastructure. And he says, I don't care. I want to be in the TIF. So for me, that was the batch one that closed that TIF. Now the fact that the city is asking us to be part of the second phase, hey, I think that it can only get better. And I think that they all have shown that even the ones that have, grown their less are in the process of growing more, like the Cedars. When we started the Cedars, same thing, wasn't it, Mr. Losberg?
That was very bleak.
And we come with some of the projects, and suddenly it's in steroids. So I feel very pleased by the job that, the Dallas City Council and of course the Commissioner's Court and some of them in other cities, because we don't only have some in Dallas, you know, you all have done a fantastic job. And I know that you are a representative in every single one of them. So kudos to you, Mr. Rosberg. Just to go to so many meetings must be, you know,
So what we're here for.
work to work for.
Well, like I said, and I appreciate it, and I really support what Dr. Garcia is saying. However, it's kind of a no-brainer. When you talk about TIFs, you know, you gotta have a developer, you gotta bring a developer to the table.
And that's, the districts that have been successful are the ones that have had developers ready to go, as opposed to, let's say, the seniors in the Gateway, which was more speculative.
Exactly, and that's my point on north versus south still. I'm gonna continue to bring it up because, you know, it's a no-brainer. Downtown, you put all the money into Arts District, you know, instead of all the diffs, you know, they're all buttressing one another. So they basically start down on the, on Central Expressway, you know, go to West Dallas now. And, you know, they're all just buttressing one another. It's kind of a no-brainer. Everybody wants to be in it. In fact, I think I heard a developer as late as last week talk about, said, well, you know, why don't we just tear out all of the freeway that's inside of Woodall Rogers and let's just develop it. Yeah, right. It's a no-brainer now because that's where everybody wants to be. I'm just trying to figure out when, other than Oakland Gateway, Cedars, which again, buttresses downtown.
Medical.
When, well, medical center, when are we gonna get really south? And that's when I'm gonna start lauding the developer.
But that's like the chicken and the egg, Commissioner, because I mean, if you don't have it, you know, you expect it to grow. But if you have it, you know it will grow.
Yeah, that's more.
That'd be my
Depends on
point.
who got the chicken.
Well, I can have the egg, and then you can have the chicken without the egg. So I think we're in the right direction, and I want to thank staff and you, Mr. Rosberg, in particular, for
Just a couple of questions there. So on the west end one, that's beyond, they're not only living with it, they like your avenue.
Yeah, staff concurs with the city request for the West End sub-district.
And so that's something you all completely worked out, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then on the design district, on the farmer's market, I have a little bit of unease that are they okay with this? It's not that much money, right?
They're comfortable with it.
Okay. And then what was the other one that we didn't do the whole thing they asked for? Was it design district? Did everything they asked for?
We work the arena district, but it gets them to where they want to go, and it's to our advantage as well. We actually increased the percentage. Our maximum contribution is the same, but we increased the percentage so that we wouldn't have to forgo the $450,000 that we've been collecting the last 4 or 5 years. They're fun.
Okay. And then on the other, you did what the proposal was, right?
We went with the city's recommendation.
Great. And then that's it.
That's it. For now.
It's been fascinating to watch over the last 20 years what's going on with TIFs.
It really is.
The variability among them, but at least I think gives faith and hope for some of the other areas in Dallas County which may then consider doing these kinds of inventive ways of increasing their productivity.
We forget, 1988, State Thomas was the first TIF district in the North Texas area, and it was regarded as being incredibly radical. And there was initially only one project, and they had to go to Japan to find the investment to do it. And now you look at it now, and it's City Place, and then as Commissioner was saying, the synergy that's been created and gone northward and eastward.
And State Thomas still continues to be the most successful TIF in this
I would say
district,
so.
correct?
I would say so.
And tell me when that changes, Mr. Lucas, I'm still there.
Well, I think we have the potential for some of these that we're talking about right now. I think design district has that potential. I think the arena has the potential for that
Arena,
as well.
sure.
And I think what Southwestern Medical has done in the last 3 or 4 years, it very well may go that way.
Thank you very much for all the
Thank you.
effort you put in.
Let me just take this opportunity, Judge and colleagues, to thank Mayor Sherman. DeSoto is, again, moving in that same kind of what I call sustainable direction. You've got a hotel, convention center, new Riverwalk, kind of a Riverwalk coming to DeSoto, I'm privy to that. And they've taken it to another level. And I just think that's going to be the real impetus in terms of DeSoto, and I like the design. So I just want to thank the mayor for his leadership out there with regards to understanding that kind of instrument and tool in his arsenal as well. So, thank you. No, thank you.
Item 8, Public Works, 8A, request the court consent to sale of tax foreclosed property by Steel Division to City of Grand Prairie. Item 8B, request the court consent for resale of tax foreclosed property at 4229 Como Lane in Balsam Springs. Item C, request the court consent for resale of tax foreclosed property at 2345 Fuqua Road in Rowlett. Item D, recommend approval of Amendment 1 to the project supplemental agreement with the City of Dallas for the implementation of the Barbecue Road MCIP with project limits being Wintergreen Road to Langton Road. Item 9, budget. 9A, your conference travel training request. 9B, recommend the county fire marshal be allowed to enroll 20 of the responsible firefighters.
May I comment? Sure. One of the travel items, we'd just like to make a comment that it is on HHS's, Dr. Chung is going to be studying more about the GIS system for what they do in HHS. Just want to talk a little bit about the upcoming excitement about GIS in the county and the fact that there are a number of examples, not just in public works, not just where leadership of elections can do it, HHS can do it, but that everybody kind of is seeing how these new tools can really work to our benefit and make for easier work and just a lot more in-depth analysis for the way that the county works. So thank you very much for being on board and for all of us working together in these important areas.
Thank you, Dr. Item 9C, recommends the court to approve Sheriff Officer Double Bill Communications Supervisor Clerk 10 position for no more than 27 weeks from June 15, 2013. And Judge, that concludes your briefing agenda. If there are no items miscellaneous, you have no speakers listed today.
Well, I wouldn't fret, because I'm sure the speakers will be back next week. And this will, we're going to recess for our closed session, so authorize by chapter 5, government codes, any action as a result of the closed session will take place in the session. We got a closed session.